Hi guys, this is Eric Hackenberger for Alternative Reason, and I have three news articles I'd like to get off my chest. First of all, Greece sees profit in air pollution. The country Greece is beyond messed up. They were way in debt to the point of collapsing that could possibly tank the whole euro. The other countries in the European Union were nice enough to bail them out, but they imposed strict austerity measures, as they should have. What this means is that the Greece people have been producing less than they've been consuming. They've been living beyond their means for a number of years, which runs up a debt. Now they need to pay it back. They got a bailout from the other countries, so their currency wouldn't go into the tank, and now they have to live below their means to pay back everyone who allowed them to live above their means for several years. And the Greece people responded to this by striking, which, as you can see, will not help the problem, will not help them produce the goods they need to pay back the people who bailed them out and all their creditors. So this actually just makes things worse, which is almost in a way hilarious that the people find the solution to their economic problem to not work and expect things to get better, and instead protest the government to magically give them all the stuff that they used to have without working for it. Which kind of just goes to show there's some sort of like mysticism thing with the Greece people. I think the government can just magically produce goods and services out of thin air. The hilarious part about the air pollution thing is that the Greece government says that they can get, I think, 170 billion euros out of claiming the strikes as not polluting the air. On a carbon credit scale, this means that they can trade their factories, which are not producing anything, so therefore they're not creating a negative externality of CO2 to other countries, and saying you can produce more, just give us some money for it. I kind of find this backwards in economics, where the goal is generally to produce things, and funny that the strikes are actually helping pay for the debt, which just kind of shows how messed up the whole situation is. The second article I would like to talk about is that Tennessee passed a law that bans images that could be found offensive. This is terrible legislation for a number of reasons. The first one is that it's not very objective. It's kind of like the porn law, where the attorney said, asked to define porn, said, I don't know how to define it, but I know it when I see it. Well, how am I supposed to know what image is offensive? Is a stick figure that I say is Muhammad, does that count as offensive? Is an image of Jesus with a slightly too large nose, is that offensive? Anything you can, write or say or draw can be considered offensive to someone. I could draw a street lamp, and someone could find that offensive to their no street lamp policy. So a whole law's ridiculous. I don't see how you would fine or prosecute people, and it flies in the face of the First Amendment. And it gives the legislature a lot of control over the internet, which is weird because usually we like the internet free. So there's a whole thing's wrong with it. I'm sure it'll get struck down, but it's kind of messed up beyond belief. And the third thing I'd like to talk about is that because Japan's nuclear reactor failed, its diesel generators failed, and got hit by a tsunami and an earthquake and had a meltdown, Germany decided the appropriate response is to push for legislation that would close down 8 plants immediately and 9 plants by 2015 and 2020. If you've read any of my writings, you know that I'm very pro-nuclear power because it's very clean, safe, and very efficient and produces a large amount. And I can't believe that the German government, we always look up for engineering and production, would shut down 17 nuclear power stations, which are very clean and safe and produce a lot of power, just because they're afraid that the same thing will happen in Japan that happened to them. And from what I know is that I haven't heard that many deaths or horrible things from the Japanese nuclear station. I'm sure people got an unhealthy dose of radiation. It's really not the end of the world kind of thing. Especially when you're considering a whole country's power is at stake. So those are three articles I wanted to get off my chest. This has been Eric Hackenberger for Alternative Reason.